Everybody, welcome once again. So we were doing some questions of national income, and today's video we are going to solve one more question from sample question paper for IAC board. So here on my screen now you can see this is the second question of sample question paper of IAC board 2023. Here we are going to see this question where they have asked you to calculate GNP at MP, and they have also asked you to find out NDP at FC. Till here, this is not clear that what is the method by which the question is asking us to solve the question. It can be value-added method, it can be output method, value-added or output method, it can be the income method, or it can be the expenditure method. If it is expenditure method, or value added method, we will get the figures at market price, and we will also get indirect taxes automatically added to the your net product. But if it is income method, under that you will directly get NDP at FC. So let's start seeing that what is given over here. So here you can see that you have been given government final consumption expenditure. Seeing here, I can make out that this question is asking the figures to be found out with the help of expenditure method. So government final consumption expenditure will be taken into consideration. Then net factor income earned from abroad, which is a minus figure. This also has to be taken into consideration. There is import and export, but we will not take import and export separately. We will take out net exports, and net export is export minus import. So export minus import is minus 50, which is to be taken into consideration. Then you have net indirect taxes. Net indirect taxes need to be deducted in order to find out NDP at FC. Then you have private final consumption expenditure. We will take into consideration this part as well. And net domestic capital formation. I had told you in the earlier classes also that if this is net domestic fixed capital formation, then change in stock has to be added. And if it is net domestic capital formation, means change in stock is not to be added. Over here, no change in stock is given, but we are just revising the concept. So net domestic capital formation, it is net, it is not gross domestic capital formation. Means here what answer we are going to get? We will get NDP at MP. And we are asked over here GNP at MP, means we will have to add depreciation. Depreciation is not included. By default, it comes added, but here depreciation is not included because you are being given net domestic capital formation. And consumption of fixed capital is being given to you. Now, consumption of fixed capital or depreciation, this is one of the same thing, is to be added back in order to find out GNP at MP. So first, what are we going to do? We will find out NDP at FC, and then we will go for GNP at MP. For this, you have to follow an approach where you are going to write down everything in a systematic manner, because just by adding the figures, if you write the answer, you are not going to get the marks. For that, you have to give the good presentation, and which is what is required by the board. So let's start doing it. For that, I will take you to a different screen where I'm going to write down this question and solve. So here is the question in front of you. Now we will solve the first part first, which is NDP at factor cost. For finding out NDP at factor cost, what do I require? I need government final consumption expenditure, which is 800, and then I need import and export. The difference between import and export means net export, which is 250 minus 300. Then I need net indirect taxes. Right now I need to deduct them, which is 70. And then private final consumption expenditure, which is 1200. Okay. Then I have net domestic capital formation, which is 385. I will not take into consideration consumption of fixed capital, and I will also not take into consideration net factor income earned from abroad, because these two figures will make GNP, which I don't want. National income right now I don't want. And I am deducting this net indirect taxes because by default, by adding government final consumption expenditure, private final consumption expenditure, and export import net export, which is called, we get the answer, which is at market price. So convert it into factor cost, we have to deduct this. So what answer we are getting for NDP at FC is 800 plus 250 minus 300 means minus 50 minus 70 plus 1200 and plus 385, which is 2265 crores. Rupees 2265 crores. Okay. So this is our answer of net domestic product at factor cost. Now the next answer, which we are going to calculate, is GNP at market price. When we have to find out GNP at market price, we can do it with the first one only. We have NDP at factor cost. So I'll take NDP at factor cost and I'll add depreciation in this so that it becomes G, N becomes G, net becomes gross. And then I am going to add, oh, this is at market price. So I'm going to add net indirect taxes also. Net indirect taxes also I have to add, and I also have to add over here net factor income from abroad. So NFIA is to be added over here. So what I'm going to get is 2265, which was my NDP at FC, plus depreciation. Depreciation means consumption of capital, which is given over here. Fixed capital 85 plus NFIA, NIT. NIT was net factor in net indirect taxes was 70. I have to add over here because this is at market price, and then I have to add over here this as well, net factor income from abroad. So this is minus 10. After doing all of this, what answer I am going to get is 2410. This is my GNP at market price. So this is how we calculate with the expenditure method. And in this question, everything is very simple. I will just give a star mark to this one because here they have given net domestic capital formation. By default, students think that the consumption of fixed capital is included into this and they forget to see this net part over here, and they do not add back consumption of fixed capital in order to find out GNP at MP. Rest all things are pretty simple, and this is also a star mark point because you have to find out net export. Rest all things are very, very simple. In this kind of questions, students, you will have to make sure that your presentation is very well, otherwise you may lose your marks. In spite of writing the full answer correctly, you may lose marks because you have not presented your question well. So do not solve like the book. In Frank book or any other book, you will see how they have added point number 1, 2, 3, 4 and then given the answer. Like that, you are not going to get full marks. If you want to score full marks in this chapter, you will have to do the presentation like this, what we have done right now over here. I hope you understood. I have made myself clear. We'll meet in the next video with some more questions. Till then, have a great day. Bye.